Hey guys, TheSneakySnake here, brothers in arms, World of Warships, and today's video we're going to take a look at a great game that I had in the gearing, the Tier 10 American Destroyer. I'm divisioned up with my friends from APOC Super and Show Me Your Sits, and they're playing in the Des Moines and Z-52 respectively, the Tier 10 American Heavy Cruiser and German Destroyer, and we're playing some domination here on the map Loop. So this gameplay that you're about to see is short, it's sweet, and boy oh boy is it to the point. The amount of damage that I'm able to rack up in a very short amount of time and the amount of impact that I'm able to have with my torpedoes are going to be the two main focus points of this replay. Now I know that the gearing has been often featured on our channel, and I know that in the past couple of months I have put up two different bits of gearing gameplay. However, I just didn't want to leave this off of the channel for you guys. I really wanted to show you this replay, and the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the torpedoes and just how it compares to the Fletcher at Tier 9. And the reason why I want to do that is because a lot of people think that the gearing torpedoes are worse. Well, from a statistical standpoint, yes, the Fletcher does have more damage. It does just over 19,000 compared to 17,900-ish that the gearing does. The speed is the same at 66 knots, but the Fletcher gets the same amount of torpedoes with a much faster reload if you go with a full torpedo boat build. However, the one big difference that the gearing does have over the Fletcher is in the range. The Fletcher's torpedoes are about 10.5 kilometers, whereas the gearings are 16.5. So what you trade is a little bit less damage and a little bit longer of a reload to be able to reach out and touch enemy ships at much further distances. Now, of course, way back in the day of World of Warships, there was the 20-kilometer torpedoes that the shimmies had, and those things were the absolute kings of getting random torpedo hits. But with Japanese destroyer torpedo detectability so high these days, I think that the gearing has the most versatile set of torpedoes at Tier 10. The combination of pretty good speed at 66 knots, the range, again, 16.5 kilometers is just insane for torpedoes, and the damage, it's still respectable, again, about 18,000. It just gives you a lot of flexibility, more so than a Z-52, more so than any Soviet destroyer could even hope to have, more so than the Shimakaze. You know what I'm getting at here. So this situation that we're about to get enveloped in up here is probably the most perfect example of gearing torpedoes and why they're honestly just different. They're not worse, they're just different than the Fletcher torps, because a lot of people that play the Fletcher, they don't want to go to the gearing because, you know, this thing doesn't feel like an upgrade because it has worse maneuverability, it has worse concealment, the torpedoes are different, and they reload a lot slower, so a lot of people get turned off by that. However, what you do have is top-tier gun performance. You get 6 127mm guns, so you get one more than the Fletcher, and it's also arranged in a much better layout with 3 turrets with 2 guns apiece, and the reload is also 0.3 seconds better base before you factor in any captain skills and equipment. So you can see here that this Shimakaze is just, even if I didn't have friends like that Minotaur right there to help me out, this Shimakaze would just get absolutely dunked on, and there we go. Super manages to pick up the first blood and snag the kill. And you can see my torpedoes are going downrange. Look at all the enemy ships that are down there. I launched them in the direction of the Missouri, but there's a Baltimore, there's a Des Moines, there's a Conqueror, there's a Montana. I just dropped those torpedoes, not necessarily aiming at one particular ship, but what I was trying to do, and there's also another Des Moines as well, I just wanted to see what I could hit. So tossing it down in a very congested sea lane would be a pretty good idea. Now, these torpedoes that are going to hit the Missouri right here, if they were Fletcher torps, they would have had enough range. However, the Fletcher torps probably would have ran out of range by about now. So that Montana who's in the back is not safe from these torpedoes. One slams home into the Conqueror, and you can see the Montana looks like he's about to take 2, one at the stern, nope, just one, right at the stern of the ship. However, I do manage to cause a flooding on that guy, and he already used his damage control. So what does this mean? He is going to flood. You can see the damage counter at the top right corner of the screen is ticking very, very voraciously. Now at this point, I'm going to smoke up, and I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to start shooting at all these enemy ships. Now, of course, the Conqueror also used his damage control as well, so now I'm going to switch targets to that guy. At this point, I'm hoping that my friends will be able to take care of the Des Moines. You can see he is turning away, and he has taken quite a bit of damage. And look at the damage that I'm doing to the Conqueror right into the superstructure. I managed to light 1 fire on that guy, which is very nice. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some more. And you can see right here, I do not have a full gunboat build. I do go for full torpedo boat on this thing. You can see the rate of fire is just fantastic. And even though the gearing doesn't have the best base fire chance, it's just the rate of fire. It's fantastic. And when you're able to shoot non-stop at something that's not able to effectively shoot back at you, well, this is the kind of results that you're able to get. That Montana that just went undetected is still flooding from the torpedoes. You can see the Conqueror is using his mega heal. However, he has 2 unrepairable fires. I pick up the Liquidator on the Montana, and now at this point, it gets pretty ridiculous here. I decide, screw it. I'm just going to go outside the smoke. I'm going to shoot at this guy. Whatever happens, happens. You can see the shells landing into the superstructure are still dealing consistent damage, even though that he already has taken quite a bit. And if you lost track of the damage counter, I'm up to 142,000 points of damage, and at this point, I decide to launch more torpedoes, not just at the Conqueror, but also at the enemy Missouri, so hopefully we'll be able to hit that guy as well. Now, you can see the Conqueror's fires do go out, so I continue to shoot at this guy. Is RNGesus hooking me up here? Absolutely. I already got 3 fires as I pick up the Witherer in a matter of minutes. I now decide to switch my focus over here to the Missouri, who is still moving in. It doesn't look like those torpedoes are going to be able to hit him. I probably should have launched them a slight bit more to the right, but that's neither here nor there. I, again, am just peppering this guy with as many shots as I possibly can. The fire RNG has been pretty good thus far. It does appear that the Missouri is not going to take a torpedo, maybe one right at the stern of the ship, maybe. Nope, unfortunately it just goes past him, but I set a fire on the bow of the ship as well. The Conqueror is still burning. I light fire number 3 on the Missouri. He is burning very, very nicely now, and he uses his damage control, finally, but at this point his fate has been sealed. There's just way too much stuff shooting at him. I'm up to 178,000 points of damage as Captain Jack Sparrow managed to take care of the Conqueror, so that guy is donezo. And yeah, this Missouri is using his health, is using his repair, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to get out of the situation, so that's why I've just been sitting out here in the open and shooting at him. And since he's not aiming at me, well, there's no reason for me to, you know, freak out and run away and not continue to shoot at this guy. I got more fire set on the superstructure of him. Finally, his secondaries do start to shoot. However, I do manage to take care of that Tier 9 premium American battleship. I'm up to 189,000 points of damage, and all of that damage came in less than 5 minutes. And that right there, that was insane. A Z-52 would not have been able to do that. A Fletcher would not have been able to do that. A Shimakaze? Well, at least with the torpedoes, if I had the 12 kilometers, yeah, they probably would have had enough range. But the guns that, you know, I was using just to shoot over and over and over again, I ended up with 258 shell hits there in that little bit of time. The Shimakaze just wouldn't have had the rate of fire to be able to do that. So that's just why I love this thing so much. It is a destroyer that, if you play your cards right and you're able to play smartly, I just think it's the best Tier 10 destroyer. I really do. And I'm a stats guy. I'm a numbers guy. I'm pretty pragmatic when it comes to making an opinion and making a decision. I know I've claimed that the Zhao is the best Tier 10 cruiser, and I just think this is the best Tier 10 destroyer, at least currently right now. Yes, the Grozavoy has better gun performance and has a comparable reload. Yes, the Z-52 has the Hydro. The Z-52 is definitely the best cap contesting destroyer in the game. But when all things are considered, I just feel the most comfortable in the gearing. It can do so much, and that torpedo performance right there, it's so nice. When you're able to strike and reach targets that are that far away, I mean, again, let's be honest, that Des Moines, Missouri, there was actually 2 Des Moines, the Conqueror, the Montana, I mean, when those torpedoes got spotted, I bet all of them started to freak out. And the amount of panic that was caused by that 110 salvo of torpedoes, even though I only hit, I think, 3 out of 10, it just caused so much chaos over there that we were able to absolutely demolish all of the enemy ships that came over to the BC side of the map. You can see that there is a Minotaur and a Yamato that were able to take care of business down over at Objective Alpha. But at this point, this game is ours to lose, and there's really no reason that we should. There's still an enemy Baltimore running away. There's also an enemy Bismarck running away as well. You can see that the Baltimore finally uses his radar. That is why I am detected at the current moment. But as soon as I come around the corner, I still got 21,900 hit points to work with. This guy's attention is elsewhere, so there's no reason for me to not just sit here and shoot at him and see what I can do. The Conqueror manages to mong his way right through the superstructure, and he dealt like 10,000 damage with the HE, but you know what? That's just Conqueror things, I guess. Got 5 seconds left here on the base cap. And, yeah, this Baltimore's fate has been sealed. There's nothing that he can do, and it's just a matter of time here before he kicks the bucket. Now, I know that the Yamato and the Minotaur are going to be coming back over here to try and interdict the Kappa B. There's only 25 points left for the enemy team. And what I decide to do now is I'm going to wait until I get further enough ahead of the Conqueror before I decide to drop some blind torpedoes. Now, you can see the Bismarck is in C6, and I decide to launch some torpedoes about a grid square diagonally ahead of the target as I pick up the assisted base capture. What I'm hoping to do is he's going to turn to his left and, you know, dropping torpedoes like that when you don't have complete line of sight on the guy. Obviously, the Cyclone is preventing that, but it was just some random torpedoes that toss down range. Maybe they'll hit, maybe they won't. Who knows? Now, I will say here that this is the one big mistake that I do make in the game. Obviously, the Yamato and the Minotaur have not been spotted for quite some time, and it's a very good thing that I have a lot of my hit points. What I'm doing right here is making it easy for those ships to creep up on me because there's that island that's just off to my starboard side, and then disaster strikes. You can see the Minotaur and the Yamato, they're coming around the corner. I do pop my smoke screen here. Some shells are coming in from the Minotaur. Colonel Sanders chucks me for about 6,000, and then very, very luckily for me, the Yamato only manages to get over penetrations on me. So I'm very, very lucky that I don't kick the bucket right there. That was at a perfect angle to be able to get penned fully. So I'm very lucky right there. But with that being the case, I only got 30 seconds left on the torpedo reload, so hopefully the smoke screen will be able to give me enough time to get these torpedoes reloaded, and even if I do kick the bucket, hopefully I'll be able to get those fish launched before that happens. Now, the Minotaur is doing some very nice torpedo beat right there. He manages to dodge all the torpedoes from my buddy Sits right there. However, because the smoke screen is now between myself and the Yami, I am going to continue to shoot, and I am not going to get detected right here. Now, Sits does get detected, I'm guessing, by the Minotaur's hydroacoustic, and unfortunately he does kick the bucket right there, but the torpedoes are now reloaded, and I'm going to drop them at the Yamato. You can see that the Tirpitz is taking a crap load of damage. I'm just going to guess that he is going to die before he would get in front of my torpedoes, and it appears that's what's going to happen. Now, unfortunately, Colonel Sanders is about to kick the bucket here as well. I do get detected by his hydroacoustic very briefly, but he does die from super in the Des Moines, and then it appears that my torpedoes are going to be able to finish off the Yamato, and that's exactly what happens. 3 slam home right into the side, and that is the end of this game. Alrighty guys, taking a look now at the post-battle results. 594,000 credits received and just over 10,000 total EXP. This was not my first win of the day. I picked up Witherer, Confederate, Liquidator, and High Caliber, dealing 232,000 points of damage off of 361 shell hits and 6 torpedoes. I sank 3 enemy ships, had 2 base defense ribbons, 1 solo cap, and 1 assisted base capture. Taking a look at the team score, 2,782 base EXP. Certainly not the highest, but that is a very, very respectable score on the winning team. My buddy Super finished in second with 2 kills of his own and 2041 base EXP, so very nice result there. And then my buddy Sits, although he finished at the bottom half of the leaderboard, he still managed to secure 1 frag, so APOC getting 6 kills out of 12 here on Loop. Taking a look at the detailed report, 87,000 points of damage dealt with the main battery, very respectable. 58,000 damage dealt with the Torps. Obviously, the Fletcher would probably have a little bit more damage dealt in that department. However, take a look at the other 39,000 damage dealt with the fires that I set, and 47,000 damage dealt with the floodings. Now, of course, a Liquidator is a very, very, very rare achievement to get these days. However, if there is one destroyer that can still get those every now and then, simply due to the unpredictability of its torpedoes, it is definitely the gearing. I also managed 99 out of our team's 120 cap points, so I was on the caps and doing my job, which is very nice. And that game wasn't even 12 minutes in duration, and wasn't even 10 minutes total in the time that I spent in combat. So that was some pretty hefty damage per minute, and just why I love this ship so much. It is becoming my most played tier 10 ship, and I just feel like when I'm divisioned up with my friends and we're playing really well together, I just feel like I can accomplish any mission and any task that this ship can face. And yeah, please don't get me wrong, guys. The Fletcher is a fantastic destroyer, but don't think that the gearing is worse. It's just a slight different play style than the Fletcher due to the range on the torpedoes. And if you manage to acquire the taste, so to speak, then you can have games like you just saw here. So with that being the case, this is the Sneaky Snake for Brothers in Arms World of Warships signing off. Please consider giving the video a like, commenting on it, or possibly subscribing to the channel. And yeah, with that being said, guys and gals, as always, have a great day.